how to find new cryptocurrencies to invest in. The markets are doing well, and you probably want to know what are some new projects, what are they doing, and if there's any opportunities there. So we're going to go over my top 5 free tools that I use to discover new cryptocurrencies and some of the research features behind them. We're going over Token Terminal, which also has an excellent podcast that I recommend and I listen to, available on Spotify and YouTube. Not sponsored, I just enjoy it. CryptoRank, which allows you to see what funds are investing in and the token unlocks. DeFi Llama, which allows you to look at what's going on multiple blockchains and the decentralized applications there. RWA XYZ, these are real-world assets on the blockchain, and this is more specifically for people who like boring investments that actually generate revenue. Now, I'm super into real-world assets, and I have a handful of investments here, so it could be very biased on this as a tool. And then Spot on Chain. Spot on Chain allows you to see the money moving in and out of certain protocols. These are all places just to begin discovering new projects that you would potentially invest in. You always have to do your research and see if it makes sense for you. And even if the project is amazing and you think it's going to go 1,000x, 100,000x, it doesn't always go that way. Even a coin that has no purpose could do much better than a coin you have thoroughly researched, which I have experienced as a crypto investor since 2016. Now I kind of stick to major protocols and things that generate revenue, and then some other coins that are very high risk, but a very small portion of my portfolio, because if you invest too much, then you get too emotional. Well, I'm Dan. If you're new to the channel, I occasionally make crypto content, and stick around until the end because that's what people say, so the videos do well. All right, let's get started. Number 1, Token Terminal. So here we are at Token Terminal. I don't pay for it, but it does help me find projects that I am interested in, because as you can see, it's 3250 euro a year, 3,250 euro every year. But if you just go to research, you can start getting some information for free. If you can see this report, the fundamentals of Arbitrum. It tells you the problem, solution, business model, apps driving the most value to the Arbitrum ecosystem and its competitors. And this is all very easy to read. So if you want to learn about anything that they've covered, they have excellent research reports on it available for free. I'm not logged in. I don't have an account. I'm not paying for anything. And this isn't a paid recommendation. This is unsponsored. These are just things I'm using. And now we are in Token Terminal's terminal. All of this information is for free. If we scroll down, we can see the weekly movers, the losers and the gainers. We can see TVL by dashboard, fees, and the price to fees ratio. So if we go to the TVL dashboard, we can see the top protocols by TVL. That's total value locked, and that signifies how much people trust it with actual money that they are locking into that protocol. So we can see here that there is a lot of information being tracked here, and this is all stuff you can potentially use with weekly gainers and movers. We can see like new trends happening. We can see Maple Finance gained 375%, and then you might want to look into why. Now, disclosure here, I am invested in Maple Finance. Then, yeah, that's it. That's not a shill. You don't invest in it. It's dumb. I'll have a full detailed video about Maple Finance in the future, but you should never just trust what anyone says, or especially offhandedly. You got to do your research and figure out why this is potentially good or bad. So scrolling down, we have more information about other protocols. We can see trending contracts, like what are people using. We can see financial statements, like what is this protocol using their money on? Is it useful? Are they wasting money? And is that something you want to stay involved in? And then we have fundraisers. This shows us all the different protocols that are raising money. And if you're raising money to do something, you must be building something that potentially has value. This is a great place to start your research on some new protocols. And if you're looking for highly informative conversations, I recommend checking out their YouTube channel or podcast. It's very insightful. It's deep dives into multiple protocols. They have chats with different venture funds, how they invest their money, what they look for, and I think you'll get a lot of value out of it. Number 2, CryptoRank.io. Now they have 2 great features that I like here. Number 1 is token unlocks, and 2, fundraising. So if you look at token unlocks, you can see how many tokens for a certain protocol are getting unlocked. You can see DApp Radar, 15% of their market cap is being unlocked today, and you can see the vesting schedule and what that timeline looks like. Additionally, other information relevant to the unlocks, and then we can always go into overview to see how the token's performing and stuff like that. Now that's not something I recommend, or am informed about. I'm just using that as an example. Now the real value here is funds. So we're going into funds, and we can see things like Coinbase Ventures, Pantera Capital, Binance Labs, and we can see what they're investing in. So this is following a lot of different funds or investors, and let's just jump into one of them. Let's check out Dragonfly Capital. We can see all their investments. We can see the ones that don't have a coin at the end because their market cap is unavailable. So these might be things we'd be interested in looking at and figuring out what they are. And we just go through that list and see if there are any opportunities there. Additionally, if this list isn't updated, we can always go to the official website. There's a link at the top right here, and we can look directly into their portfolio or blog if that's available to see any news or things that they are announcing or starting to invest in, and other things like that. Number 3, DeFi Llama. Now, I've actually made a detailed video on DeFi Llama before, so we're going to go over this quickly. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see the full video. Now, DeFi Llama kind of tells us what's going on in blockchain. It shows us like multiple blockchains, what are the decentralized applications that are building there, what kind of value is changing in that ecosystem. So, for example, we can see Arbitrum. They have 479 protocols built on that blockchain. There's 134,000 active users, and over the past month, the TVL has grown by 25%. That's total value locked. That just means more money is entering their ecosystem. Now, we can sort by what has changed the most, and let's say that's Solana. We can look at the protocols in Solana and see if there are any potential investments for us. Now, another great feature in DeFi Llama is airdrops. These are tokenless protocols that may airdrop, and that means you use the protocol, you are involved with it, and you are rewarded as an early user. And this is common with a lot of protocols because they want to reward their early users, but it's never guaranteed. So that's why they say tokenless protocols that may airdrop. So you might want to take a look at a couple of these, if they're legitimate, if they have some good backers, and if they can actually build something that isn't going to get hacked where you lose your funds. So there is a lot of risk when using these types of DeFi products, but sometimes that risk is worth it for the reward. Not in all cases, though. I always have to give these warnings. There's always a ton of warnings in these videos. Number 4, RWA.xyz. That stands for Real World Assets.xyz. No explanation on that other part, but if we jump into their dashboard, we can see some data about real-world assets being used on the blockchain. So we can see several real-world protocols, what network they're on, the total loans, active loans, base APY, and this is just for the private credit market. We can see US Treasuries, and pretty soon, real estate and stablecoins. Now, I find all of this fascinating because this is just another way to bring in traditional finance to show them blockchain technology, the value of it, and how easy it is to do things rather than in the traditional finance world. Now, I am invested in several real-world asset projects because they have value, they're generating revenue, they're doing a service, and it's a working business model. But there is a lot of competition, and we need to see more money entering the crypto markets for these to continue to have value. Understand those risks, and this is just one of the tools I use, and you could use too if you are interested in real-world assets. Number 5, spot on chain. Now, I use the free version, I don't sign in, and it just gives me at a glance where the money is moving. This shows you the smart money moving in and out of certain protocols. It shows you what's trending, it shows you some signals, and it just kind of gives you an idea of what's happening on chain. If you are a crypto trader, this might show you some opportunities, but if you are a crypto investor, you are looking for the long term, and all these short-term price movements don't really matter. So for some of my trading activities, I use things that show me immediate on-chain data to spot short-term opportunities, but for the most part, my investment portfolio is all long-term. Okay, that's it. That's 5 tools. I hope this was helpful. If it was, feel free to hit that like button. Come back next week, and hopefully I have another video. Alright, I've been Dan, you've been you, and I hope you got your full value for today. I was really stretching for an outro there, but that's it.